Massive Open Online Courses by Drew Beyer, otherwise known as MOOCs. At the end of the 19th century, correspondence courses on civil service exams and shorthand stenography were sold door to door. By 1920, hundreds more practical course topics became available and over 4 million Americans subscribed. However, less than 3% actually finished their courses. With the rise of radio in the 20s, many universities saw a future in distance learning. In 1922, NYU was the first university to set up distance learning courses, and many schools followed. Students would read the text, tune into broadcasted lectures, and mail in answers to exams. However, due to low completion rates, low tuition payments, and academic honesty skepticism, these programs were discontinued. In the 80s, closed-circuit videos were made available to students at universities from remote campuses. Then, in 1994, the first internet distance learning course was conducted by a UPenn professor who had about 500 students enrolled worldwide. One of many MOOC sites, a Stanford University startup called Coursera, had 4.4 million users in late 2013. There are several pros to MOOCs. They are free, high quality, non-discriminatory, and universities will accept them for credit. In short, they allow underprivileged citizens from developing countries with an interest in internet connection to have world-class higher education. India, Russia, and Brazil have the most users. The Aristotelian approach to education was a simple one-on-one verbal interaction between teacher and student. The written word changed that. Many were hesitant to accept the technology, like Socrates, who believed memory would be lost if ideas could be written down. But there was much to gain. Education could be brought places to more people, books costed less, and the quality of education improved with revisions of books. Are MOOCs not like the written word? They make education more widely available to underprivileged people. They also improve the quality of education, and there have been decades of research delving into the neuroscience and psychology behind learning using human-computer interaction. Even so, critics argue that there exist several drawbacks from MOOCs. The cons are low completion rates and the lack of face-to-face interaction. Traditionally, education is social as well as academic, making peer interaction crucial in the education process. However, there may be a way around this. In some MOOCs, the professor schedules Google Hangouts with the class weekly so students may ask questions. Other MOOC sites encourage students to set up study groups through social media such as Meetup.com, Facebook, and Google+. In some cases, students have kept discussions going long after the course is over. Though these discussion boards are not physical human interaction, it's close and a step in the right direction for MOOCs. There exist many online learning courses offered by organizations such as Khan Academy, a free video database. The difference between MOOCs and these videos is essentially the class aspect. An education encompasses social learning as well as academic learning, and MOOCs are simply attempting to achieve this education virtually. On another level, some have thought virtual reality classrooms from Wired magazine we understand. Virtual classrooms can simplify the lecture and presentation process, allow students to ask questions to their teacher or each other without interrupting the lecture. And all of this is done with the convenience and cost efficiency of distance learning, and any subject can be taught in this setting. MOOCs would indeed decrease the demand for teachers at higher learning establishments. A California faculty union at San Jose State is refusing to use MOOCs. The union writes, administrators at CSU are beginning a process of replacing faculty with cheap online education. At American University, a moratorium on MOOCs has been implemented also. Because MOOCs are able to reach out to such a wide audience, teachers must be careful not to overstep any boundaries when it comes to cultural beliefs. One professor at the University of Copenhagen taught an online course called Constitutional Struggles in the Muslim World. He voiced opinions that went against current powers of the Muslim world and was interrogated for 4 hours by Iranian Secret Service as a result. This is a fascinating aspect of MOOCs because with more professors able to voice their opinions, the standardization of certain courses would fall by the wayside. These controversial courses will inevitably become a talking point in the future. With MOOCs, citizens from other countries with closed-off mindsets would gain access to different ways of thinking, liberating their learning. Now, there are 3 competing companies that produce MOOCs: Udacity, Coursera, and edX. All private, Udacity and Coursera are for-profit, while edX is non-profit. Even so, edX has financial backing from universities such as Harvard and MIT, amounting to around $60 million. It will be interesting to see how these companies compete in the future. In addition, this competition is healthy because it will hopefully drive class quality upward, the main distinguishing feature between these MOOC sites. So keep an eye on them. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected with the transfer of information. Why shouldn't classrooms be part of this revolution? Our world is becoming smarter, and MOOCs will be a large contributor to further this shift in the future. Everyone deserves a higher education. Think about the implications if MOOCs catch on. With everyone smarter, it would be reasonable to assume that our world would be a better place. If you've ever heard of the saying, 2 heads are better than 1, you know that a world with more educated people would not be a bad thing. However, with such a wide audience, teachers would have great control over what the world knows and how they know it. If MOOCs do catch on, there would have to be strict screening processes for these teachers, ensuring unbiased lessons. Regardless, however, in controversial subjects, everyone cannot be happy with one established online course. This will be a tricky hurdle to overcome in the future. That's it. Thanks for listening.